in terms of the movie industry here, there were a lot of issues with how Miss Johansson was suing Disney, and Disney was playing hardball here because it wasn't in the clause here or written in the contract. Well, I guess Disney caved at the end because of the PR nightmare that they're staring up for themselves. Because obviously for Miss Johansson, she has the right to demand or to sue them because of the agreed contract here. Now, obviously Disney's uh, preference to prioritize the promotion of their Disney Plus streaming platform over releasing films over the movie theaters early this year. Well, Black Widow was the guinea pig that had to happen, and eventually they changed strategies since they saw that how poor the performance was. Because even if a lot of people went on to watch in their streaming services, which is have a lot of issues, as I mentioned, make it more restrictive for a lot of people to watch their films, to pay additional fee, not just to subscribe but to pay additional fee to watch their film. That's why the movie theaters is so important, because anyone could watch the film if they wanted to, and obviously the experience is totally different than just watching it at home. And not just that, and if you were to watch it at home, you just have to pay for one subscription, then a lot of people could watch it. Then how does that make, you could have a house party watch here, and how does that benefit the streaming services here? You're assuming there's one uh, viewer for each account. Obviously, the if I'm the account holder, I would invite as many people as possible to watch the film. But obviously, watching it in your own television is not the same experience as watching it in the big, movie screen theater, or even in IMAX experience, which I haven't tried it yet. But anyway, so you have the Russo brothers who directed the last installment of the Avengers Endgame here. Is now separating due to what happened earlier, which we were discussing earlier. So according to DK decoding that in, so the issue here is obviously they are more on the creative side, the directors, and seeing how they treated their big stars or Miss Johansson is obviously detrimental. That maybe Disney is not you know being considerate in terms of how it treats its actors or actresses, and then even for directors, those creative people who makes the film possible. Because at the end of the day, no matter what Disney does, you still need creative people to be able to create a great story here. Imagine if Mr. Kevin Feige was not there to helm Marvel Studios from the start to its current state here, which is, I'm sure he's having difficulty here because he's not too happy on what happened here, because obviously it somewhat damages the image of what people perceive as Marvel is, because it's attached to Disney, so and so forth here. Anyway, let's see here. Oops, where the heck is it? There you go. So as you can see here, oops, where the heck was it? There you go. So the return for they've been making a lot of films for Marvel for quite some time. So you have they've directed Captain America: The Winter Soldier. You have the Civil War, the Infinity War, just to name a few. So meaning they know what they're doing in terms of uh, you know directing, in terms of what people want to see in terms of content here. And the question here is, what's going to happen here if Disney doesn't try to resolve this issue? And obviously, the two have already decided to part ways because of the direction that they did. And obviously, the next part or the next phase for the Marvel franchise is, after the Avengers, what's the next part? And the Secret Wars would have been tremendous, but question is, who are the main characters here? And you need a great storytelling here to catch the attention of people. And I don't know, for my taste, I think it's getting too saturated. You've been releasing films after films, for more than a decade already, and expecting people to follow suit. Now, obviously, there's still a demand for those films, but don't expect to get the same experience or same result as it did in the past year. And as it had shown, whether it be, is it because of the pandemic here, you just can see the result here from the release of Black Widow, and then Shang-Chi, even though it did well domestically, but is it doing well worldwide in terms of, expecting to reach $1 billion? Is, I think it's a very unrealistic expectation anyway. So anything above, I think 500 million would be a tremendous success already. Now, question is moving forward. So from how it performed in the Black Widow film to Shang-Chi and then the Eternals, then it would tell us already, and even moving forward here, then is people's appetite for more Marvel films still there? I mean, I'm interested to watch the last Spider-Man, No Way Home, but who's going to play that character in the future? Is it still Mr. Tom Holland, and will Sony partner still with Marvel? Because obviously they don't have to do that, and that's another issue altogether here. But going back to the directors here, and obviously seeing what has transpired in the past year or so, just gives credence that should they be supporting a company that does not support their actors or actresses here, which is, kind of detrimental. Obviously it's a collaborative aspect here. Now obviously Disney Studios or decision makers are focused on the profit side, but obviously you need a creative side, because if there's no creativity here, people doesn't like the content or the movie here, no one's going to watch it, no matter what Disney tries to spin out here in terms of the perception here that they're all for kids and so forth. But really based on the content that they're providing, obviously some people are fed up with having social issues embedded in film, which is you're not there to watch for that. You're there to be entertained and to escape from reality for even just a little bit. So anyway, we'll see what else is the fallout from the debacle that happened with the Black Widow here.